Hi guys, I'm live. I just want to chat, maybe do some talk about physics, maybe a little nerdish, nerd out a little bit. But before I do that, I'd like to talk about this cool book I'm reading. Everything's backwards when I show it with this, but it's called Infernal Geometry in the Left-Hand Path. The Magical System of the Nine Angles. And the nine angles are basically what you get when you draw an upside down pentagram. That's 5 angles because the pentagram has 5 angles. And then you put a trapezoid in it a certain way, like this. And the trapezoid has 4 angles because it's got 4 angles. So the 5 angles of the upside down pentagram and the 4 angles of the trapezoid make 9 angles, and that's what this system is about. It's the dark arts or black arts or whatever, which I'm very intrigued by. But it doesn't just stop there, even though that's cool. If that's all that happened, I would be like, oh, that's good. You know, it's normal. That's me. That's a me thing to do. Get into magic and all that. But then I found a talisman. I literally found this on the street. I almost didn't know why I was picking it up because it's an Allen wrench, but it's bent, which I thought of as a negative thing when I first found it. And I even tried to bend it back and I couldn't. It's really bent a certain way, really stuck that way. And it's rusty and it's bent. And I thought, well, something told me to pick it up. I don't know. But it turns out right angles are 90-degree angles. Angles that are more than 9 degrees are obtuse. Angles that are less than 9 degrees are acute. And the every angle in the 9 angles is either obtuse or acute. And the only 2 obtuse angles, which there are 2, are on the top of the trapezoid right here. If you can see it, these 2 angles. And if you lay this talisman I found against that angle, you'll see it matches perfectly. You can do it on that side, or you can do it on that side because they're symmetrical, of course. It exactly lines up. I mean, something told me to pick it up, and it's an obtuse angle because it's bent, and it just so happens to be not only an obtuse angle, but that exact angle. So this is my lucky talisman. It's like I found things. I pick things up all the time. I found people's credit cards lost, and I just turned it into the bank. If I find it, you'll get it back. I've done it several times. That kind of thing. I don't advertise it, but whatever. But something told me to pick this up, and it's exactly it bent at an obtuse angle, and it's exactly that angle that's in that trapezoid, which is part of the system of 9 angles that I'm studying. So I think that's really cool and badass. It kind of leads me to a kind of a concept that's actually a paradox, but doesn't make it not true. At least around me, the weirder something is, the more likely it might be true. So, I mean, you wouldn't think it. I mean, I just found it. It could be. I mean, why did I even find it, first of all, and why was it exactly bent like that? I mean, I think that's really, really cool. You wouldn't. I didn't orchestrate that. I couldn't have. That's beyond my pay grade. But yet it happened to me. I think that's cool. It leaves credence. Clearwater Revival. It leaves credence to what I'm studying here. It connects it to me, kind of, in physical 3 dimensions or something. Now, physics. I'd like to talk about some physics. I like to nerd out sometimes. I almost got the board out, but I don't think I need to write to express any of what I'm going to be talking about. If I do, I can grab it from the other room, but I don't think I need the board. I almost used it, but I don't think I would have needed it. I think it would have been embarrassing because I would have found out I didn't need it, and there it was right in front of me. I'd like to talk about time dilation and relativity. So let's just jump right in. I don't know how else to do it. the basic premise of special relativity and general relativity, for that matter, relativity period, is that the speed of light is the same for all observers. No matter how fast you're going, you see light going at the same speed as any other observer who observes that light, no matter how fast either of you are going or not going. It's the only constant in the universe, according to Einstein's theory. Time's not a constant. It can be dilated. It can be slowed down or things. Length isn't constant. Things can be shortened and lengthened as you move fast enough, if you do. Mass isn't constant. Mass, as something approaches the speed of light, it gets infinitely big, and therefore takes infinite energy to move. Therefore, you cannot go faster than light. Get the paradox? Faster I try to go, close to the speed of light, the bigger my mass gets, which makes the momentum, which makes the force it takes to make me go faster approach infinity, because my mass approaches infinity. And therefore, the only way to get that extra niche, that extra little snippet to the speed of light takes infinite energy, and nobody has infinite energy except God. But screw that. Cross that out. So see, and then, so mass isn't a constant, and space isn't a constant. Space isn't a constant because it's connected to length and size, and that's all. That's not only is that connected to time, but it's not constant. Something that's really big goes fast enough can get bigger or smaller. I mean, maybe only one, but it can change size as it goes faster if it approaches light speeds, or light speed. Speeds close to light. And the only constant in all the mayhem is that no matter where you are, what you're doing, light travels at the same speed. And yeah, and also another thing that keeps you from going the speed of light, helps you not be able to go the speed of light, is time dilation. As you go faster, as you go close to the speed of light, time slows down for you to the point where if time stops for you, you cannot move because there's no time. You can't move because you're stuck in time. And as you go closer to the speed of light, if you have mass, time starts to slow down for you, and till where finally, as you reach light speed, you're just in one moment. And if you're in one moment, you can't move because you are locked in time. So not only do you have infinite mass, which requires infinite energy to get you to go faster, to reach the speed of light, time slows down for you so that you can't progress to the next instant to go the speed of light. See? And I think all these things are fascinating. I like both sides of the physical spectrum of modern physics. The small, which is the quantum mechanics, and the large, which is the relativity. I like both. In fact, I'm actually good at both. I almost was going to say I like relativity better, but that's hard to say. I don't really want to say that because I'm liable to betray myself and think that I really am better at quantum mechanics. I don't know which. I like them both. So, thought experiment on time traveling slower if you're moving faster than someone else, because of light having to appear to move the same speed for both observers at once. I've done this before, but let's just do it again. Maybe it'll help me too. If I'm in a spaceship going by and I have light beam going like this, in my reference frame, the light just goes like this. And that's cool. But if I'm moving past someone else really fast, that light has to move the same speed for the observer watching me go by as it does for me. And since that observer sees more movement than I do, that the observer standing watching me move going by sees all kinds of oscillating movement as I go by, but has to see that light going at the same speed I do. Therefore, it has to see me as going slower in time than I see myself going, meaning relative to that observer, I am moving slower through time. Time is moving slower for me because I'm in motion, because as I move, the light has to stay the same speed. And lucky me, I'm moving, so time gets to go slower for me. Because that person has to see that light still only go still still going the same speed I do, but since I'm moving relative to that person, it has to see me at a slower rate because my motion tends to make my light go faster. So to compensate, time has to slow down for me so that the light that I see can also look the same speed for the observer watching me from the side as I go by fast. That's basically special relativity in a nutshell. The rest is just the math and work it out and do the work and calculate things, solve problems. But if you get that, that's the basic concepts of it. In fact, I saw special relativity explained in one lecture at Harvey-Mudd College, and I understood it. Just one lecture, 50-minute lecture, 50 minutes, 50 minutes, understood it. One lecture, because it's not really that hard concept, but yet it's important and it's cool. It's interesting too. And then with gravitational fields, that's general relativity, which I didn't have to take because I wasn't a physics major, but I learned along the way a little bit of it. Objects bend space-time. And when space-time curves, light takes longer to travel because it has to go around instead of straight through. So that means that for light to seem to travel the same speed in a gravitational field, time has to go slower because it has to see that the light has longer to travel because the space is curved. Let me see if I can see if I understand that. The light takes the gravitational field curves space-time, making the light have to take a longer path, yet it can't oh, I get it. Duh. The light does have a longer path to go because of the gravitational field, but it has to look like it's going the same speed to an observer that's in a non-gravitational field. Therefore, I have to look like I'm faster. Time has to move faster for me so that what looks like what is a curve to the person watching, which is longer, is the same speed as my straight line that I see when I'm in the field. So therefore, if I'm in a gravitational field, time speeds up. That's what time goes faster if you're in a gravitational field because the light has further to go around the curved space from the gravitational field. So the light has to go faster. Time has to go faster to make that light go the same speed to the observer as it does to me. So if you're on the ground floor of a building, therefore closer to the earth, your clocks will go slower than if you're on the 100th floor because the 100th floor is higher up, less gravitational field from the earth, and therefore clocks will go slower. Time goes slower in low gravitational field as opposed to high gravitational field where time speeds up. So I think that's all interesting, there's all kinds of, and that's been documented, that can actually be measured. You can actually take a clock at the bottom of a Empire State Building or something, and it'll go faster on the ground floor than it does at the 100th floor, or however many floors there are. I think that's cool. So I just wanted to chat about that. Anything else about it? Let's see. They cover everything I wanted to say. me think. That's all I wanted to say. They call it time dilation when time just won't progress for you. And they call it mass dilation when you get bigger because you're going too fast. You're going close to the speed of light and your mass just goes to infinity. You just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and time slows down for you. You become a infinite blob stuck in time. So, and that's even before you get to light speed. You have to overcome that to go to light speed. And you'd have to get a way around that. You'd have to say, well, somehow I can propel myself even though I have infinite mass, or even though time slows down for me, stops for me. I have to find a way around that even to go to the speed of light. That's why, in theory, nothing that has mass can go to the speed of light. And nothing that is going the speed of light can slow down, because it has no way to slow down because it has no mass, i.e. light, or sometimes waves and other things that can travel the speed of light. And, you either are going the speed of light and you always will, or you're not going the speed of light and you never will. If you have mass, you'll never go the speed of light. If you don't have mass and you're going the speed of light, good luck, you'll never slow down. So, cool things. I think that's all interesting stuff, cool stuff. A couple more things. Do I have anything else to add about this? Let me think. Oh, and then the only other way you could get around, hypothetically go the speed of light or faster, would be a wormhole. But those are completely theoretical. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but we never found one. They may exist in theory, but we've never seen one, observed one, or found one. So we don't even know they exist. And if they do, there may be that loophole around the special relativity constraints of speed. Folding space and then just going from one point to the other, and just magically going through a portal, or a wormhole, whatever, and coming out the other side, and you traveled, but then again you didn't. You just circumvented the whole thing. But we don't even know if we don't even know that exists, and it may not. So, and yet we have aliens that are either humans evolved 10,000 years into the future, coming back in time, which means they did develop time travel, or they are aliens from the nearest galaxy is just immensely far away. It just takes so long to get here, even the closest galaxy, that have come here. So obviously, or at least apparently, there's a lot of voodoo in the mix. There's a lot of things that may not be as absolute as Einstein was saying, but he laid a good framework and a good principles, and it's interesting, and there's some truth in it. Something doesn't have to be all truth or no truth. Something can have a good idea and still be on the road to truth. And at least I believe Einstein was on the right road to truth. And I think he was a great scientist. Love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.